All right, hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm interviewing a legend in Evan Reifert, an MLB pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays. How are you doing, Evan?
Doing great, Josh. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good today. So I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions, and yeah, that's just basically how this is gonna go.
All right, awesome. Ready for it.
All right, so who's your role model growing up? Like who is somebody that really, yeah, who is your role model?
Uh, I had a couple role models growing up. As far as baseball goes, I think Clayton Kershaw was probably my favorite role model who I looked after, just from a pitcher standpoint. Just loved how he carried himself and the energy he brought to the baseball field.
Yeah.
Just his whole presence, I loved it, and really tried to kind of emulate my game after that. And then, other than that, I think just overall life, probably just my dad. It's pretty critical there, just with just how he raised me, and appreciate everything he's done for me. So
Yeah. All right. Well, that's awesome. Okay, so when did you know it was possible to be where you're at today? Like, when did it really set in? Like, okay, I can actually do this. When did that set in?
I think it was after my first year in college. Truthfully, like I didn't know going into college baseball that this is where I'd be at currently. Um, I really wanted to go off and play baseball after high school. I'd always dreamed about playing baseball, just at the highest level possible. But yeah, I think it was after my first year when I got drafted my freshman year. Um, I didn't take it that year. I didn't think I was quite ready at the time. So, I ended up going back to school for a couple more years. But yeah, truly that third year when I got into pro ball after my junior season in college, that's kind of really when it started to set in. And then I think the further I've gone into pro ball here now, it's gotten more and more realistic of just like how close I am and, where I'm at right now. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, getting drafted twice? That's insane.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy feeling, especially the first time. And the first time I had no idea. I was playing summer ball down here in Florida actually, and I got a phone call from my head coach at my junior college, and he was just like, "What the heck, man?" I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about," and told me that I got drafted that day. I was like, "Holy crap! I had no idea." No idea. I was completely blown away. And then, sure enough, I started seeing all the tweets and everything else and getting a bunch of phone calls. So it's a pretty unreal experience.
That sounds like it would be quite the surprise.
Yeah.
All right, so what is the trade process like? You've been a part of that, I think, once, twice. I
Just once so far, but that's again also a very crazy and kind of intimidating, piece of baseball. But again, you really don't truly have a team when you think about it. You're just kind of a pawn, and whoever really wants you, they'll trade for you, or whatever happens, happens. So yeah, I was with the Brewers to start off with my pro ball career. Played with them in 20 and 21, and yeah, after that 21 season, got traded in the off season. It was just again kind of a out of the blue. Had no idea. We got a random phone call from a Milwaukee number that I didn't have, and they're like, "Oh yeah, hey, like you've been involved in one of our trades." So I got that, and sure enough, and now I'm here with the Rays, and been happy with the Rays. So again, happy with both organizations, but it is quite the process of getting traded. It's a very big switch up in your life.
yeah, I bet. Like that's an entire climate switch too. Like,
Yeah,
going from
yeah, definitely bouncing around climates.
yeah. So I know that you have a nasty slider. So other than that, what's probably the best pitch that you throw?
I just started throwing a sinker here now. I don't know if you'd seen anything about that on Twitter, but that kind of blew up uh, this spring training when I was with the big league team. So that was kind of the new pitch that I added to this arsenal. But I'm really just a two-pitch guy. I mean, I pretty much just throw fastball, slider, primarily slider, because I mean that's kind of what they've been teaching me here is just continue to hammer the slider and throw some fastballs to get them off the slider and just keep doing that. So, but yeah, I do throw four seam slider and now a sinker. So I'd say the sinker's pretty dang good though.
That's awesome. It would be very hard to hit, and it amazes me how some of these guys do it.
Yeah, I mean, I get to watch it on a daily basis, and it still amazes me. I mean, just getting to watch a lot of our pitchers in the bullpen, just being like, I don't know how guys sit up there comfortably and hit guys throwing 100 or even 95 plus. Like it's unreal.
Yeah.
But they do it.
Yeah. All right, now based off of that, what would your favorite pitch that you've ever thrown? Like, so throughout being in middle school to now, what's like your favorite pitch that you like to throw?
I mean, I'd probably say the slider still. I mean, I think it's just gotten better throughout the years. Obviously, it's a very useful pitch for me. I think I've gotten a lot of praise from it over the years now too. I think just the whole MLB has gotten to see kind of what I've gotten to show here just from spring training and even the fall league. So I'd say that's probably my favorite pitch. And yeah, just the way it's developed over the years now too. Like I started throwing it when I was younger in travel ball, kind of messed around with it then. But now it's progressed and it's gotten better every year pretty much. So
That's it's pretty nasty.
yeah.
All right, so who's your favorite coach that you've ever gotten to play under?
This one you might like. It's actually not a baseball coach. I'd say, do you know Coach Janney?
Huh?
Football coach? Coach Janney?
Yeah.
Yeah, wide receiver and defensive back coach. I think he's probably my favorite coach I've ever played under. So, I mean, I almost didn't go out for football my senior year just because I thought baseball in college might interfere with that. So, but no, Coach Janney talked me back into it and kept me going. But I've always loved Coach Janney. He's been a big help throughout my whole career, really. I mean, I've loved learning from him and just listening to some of the things that he has to say. So he's definitely up there. Probably my favorite, though.
Yeah, makes sense. He's a great guy.
That's a Wilton legend for sure. So
100%. So what's it like? So how has the shift been from organization to organization? What was that shift like? And can you walk me through the process of how the Rays do things differently than the Brewers did, or if they do even?
yeah, no, I'd say that truthfully, like the organizations that I played for, so the Brewers and the Rays now, they do things very similarly, which is nice, where it wasn't like a huge switch up. Um, but yeah, obviously, I think the Brewers kind of had their way of doing things where they looked at things more of like a process standpoint. So from a pitching side of things, it'd be like, oh, you've got really good stuff. It plays really well in the zone. So throwing it more in the zone makes sense. And they would just tell you things every level you went up. So like I started in low A and then went to high A that year with the Brewers. And they just, again, they kept telling us stuff. They're like, oh, here's some stuff to work on here and there. We'll tweak it here and there. But again, I feel like I haven't gotten that sense from the Rays. The Rays is much just like pretty much keeping the catcher center cut, middle of the zone, and letting your stuff do the work. And wherever it ends up, it ends up. So I feel like there's simplicity in both of the organizations, but it kind of meshes really well together. So they definitely do things differently. And obviously, like you've got your staff who are different as well. But again, in pro ball, there's a ton of knowledge and a ton of baseball knowledge to learn from each organization. So
Yeah. So how what is it like slash how is it playing against some of the bigger prospects in baseball?
I mean, it's definitely a culture shock for sure. I mean, coming from small town of Wilton.
Yeah.
A lot of people have no idea where that is. A lot of people don't even know where Iowa is, surprisingly. So it's definitely a shock, but it's a ton of fun just to even go up against those guys where it's like, that these guys have been huge prospects their entire lives. And just getting to go out there and compete against them, and again, holding my own and being just as good, if not better than some of them, it's been a ton of fun. So, I mean, obviously the fall league was a big example of that, where it's just a huge group of top prospects, and then again, obviously going to see a lot of those same faces, and then even some of the MLB stars that I saw this spring. So it was a big challenge, but a ton of fun. I mean, so much excitement with it.
Yeah. I mean, that would be just wow. That would be amazing. That would be definitely interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Who? Okay, so this is a name. This is a question that gets thrown around a lot, and it's kind of a trend on TikTok. But who would you say the most famous name in your contacts is currently?
Most famous name, my contacts. Man, that is a thrown around question. I'd probably say Matt Mervis. So he's a rookie for the Cubs. Mash Mervis? Oh yeah, dude, I've got a Mash Mervis T-shirt in my closet over here that he gave me. Because yeah, we played together this fall. He's the man. I love that guy. So he's probably the most famous guy I have in my phone though.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah, he seems like a great dude.
Fantastic guy. I mean, and just mashes baseballs. So it's a good addition for the Cubs. They'll definitely use him a lot for years to come. So
I will say I'm excited to see how he progresses. Hopefully, you can be a Cub one day.
who knows? Trade or two down the line, you never know. So
So that's really all I got for you. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it.
yeah, it's no problem, Josh. I mean, appreciate you having me on. So I'm glad I could help out a little bit, fill in some questions. So
Yeah, thank you, man.
yeah, no problem, man.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I really enjoy pumping out content for you guys. Once again, this is Evan Reifert, Wilton legend, pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays. Hopefully, we'll get to see him in the MLB sometime soon. Peace.